Hi, I'm Charles with AniCap. This is my recap for the 2023 anime, A Returner's Magic Should Be Special. If you like my recaps, please consider subscribing. The story begins just after a battle has taken place and many casualties are scattered throughout the battlefield. A giant monster roams the land and is met by a group of warriors. Like most monsters, this one's able to speak without moving its lips and calls the humans before him foolish for thinking they could defeat him. We learn that shadow worlds represent the worst calamity humanity has ever faced, and they're steadily shrouding the world in black fog. There's no way of knowing what goes on inside that fog, but the one thing that is known is that no living creature can survive in the land that it taints. There is only one way to save the world, and that is by conquering the shadow worlds. One of the heroes bravely tells the dragon named Boromir that it's time to settle things once and for all. This guy is pretty confident considering there's a bunch of dead heroes around, as he tells Boromir that he will be the one to slay him and bring an end to this accursed hell. Boromir gets pretty upset, and that one guy that always points out the obvious yells out, "Here it comes." The "it" he is talking about is Boromir's fire breath, but my boy with the giant shield has it covered. Before the fireball can reach him though, it disappears as we see that our protagonist uses a spell to stop it, taking away Shield Guy's one opportunity to do something. Boromir prepares another attack that's even more powerful, but our protagonist digs deep and stops that one too. His name is Desser, and he loudly states that his magical pattern analysis is complete. He has sealed every draconian spell. The humans go on the offensive, but Boromir is insulted that the impudent humans think they can stand in his way. He uses his tail to attack this time, and Shield Guy finally gets his chance to shine as he blocks the attack. The warriors jump in to do some damage, and the mage hits him too. Seeing as how this is the battle to end all battles, the mage decides to use up every last bit of magic they have to power up their female warrior. Desser encourages her with his battle cry, and she lands the final massive blow. Boromir screams out in pain as he is in utter disbelief that things are ending this way. Everyone celebrates, and Captain Obvious speaks up again to say a single word: good. Desser is amazed by their great accomplishment and is glad that they can get out of this hell. Sometime later, the group celebrates, but one of them points out that they haven't received a message from the higher-ups, and wonder if they defeated the wrong target. Mr. State the Obvious says that Boromir was definitely the right target, but the others point out that they would usually be sent back to their world by now. Desser doesn't mind giving it some more time since everything is over now. Spirits are high, but the mage ruins it, as he points out that out of the 155 million people who fought him, only 6 of them survived. The mood shifts dramatically as Desser begins to think about how this world took far too much from him, comrades he fought alongside, and irreplaceable friends. The hippie of the group brightens things up by pointing out that they defeated Boromir and tries to change the subject. The mage explains that they can't look away from reality, and 99% of the mages died. He wants to think about what's to come, but the hippie tells them that they should pray first. Desser calms everyone down, so the religious hippie just compliments Shield Guy for his sweet blocking skills. He is too humble though and gives all the credit to Desser. The mage marvels at how Desser was able to analyze and seal Boromir's spells with his circle, since not even he has such power. The mage points out that even with all that power Desser has, he was completely unknown, and he asks him how that could be. Desser explains that it's because he is just a commoner. The mage thinks that's a complete shame, since if he had been at the magic tower, he would have made our boy a beast. They then go around talking about what they will do when they get back home. One guy wants to visit his dead friends' homes to return their keepsakes, because something about honorable deaths. The hipster is apparently the purest human being ever, as she just wants to return to the kingdom to take care of the victims' families and build a memorial. The mage wants to find a way to prevent a reoccurrence of shadow worlds, since if a similar one appears, it really will be the end of humanity. The warrior who actually ended the fight doesn't say a word, and rudely just ignores the question. The others wonder if Desser will be returning to Hebrion Academy, and he thinks about a girl he once knew who would eventually die in battle. Desser states that he hasn't decided and just wants to get back home first. Just then they all sense something and realize that it isn't over yet. They don't understand the magic power they are feeling, and the mage is shocked as he is sure they killed Boromir. He quickly realizes something though. He explains that he once read that dragon hearts don't only pump blood, they also store and circulate vast amounts of mana. When the dragon dies, the blood stops and the stored mana with nowhere else to go explodes. Our shield hero steps forward, getting another chance to prove useful, and tells the mage that he wishes he would have mentioned that information sooner. Although he is clearly to blame for literally everything, the mage has an excuse as this is the first time in history that humans have defeated a dragon. The sky fills with light radiating from the mana-filled corpse, and Desser is shocked when his spell doesn't work. The mage points out that it's hopeless. They're up against a pure ball of magic power, and even under perfect conditions, they wouldn't be able to stop it. Everyone begins to prepare for their lives to end, and Desser wonders if this is really it. His life since the beginning of the episode flashes before his eyes, and Desser finds himself somewhere else completely. He is wearing normal clothes and can't figure out what's going on. He hears applause in the distance, and a woman welcomes all the new students to Hebrion Academy. Desser remembers her as Professor Birgit, and she explains to the students that not everyone can be enrolled. Instead, they will all take a test, and only the top 600 will be accepted. Desser seems to know exactly what she's going to say, as she shockingly states that their test is to clear a shadow world. The students grumble in fear as that is far too dangerous, but Birgit tells them not to fear. The test shadow world is an artificial one created for the purpose of the test. As she speaks, Desser begins to realize something, but can't believe it. Birgit then states that they will now begin the entrance exam for the year 3613, confirming what Desser feared. He explains that the battle against Boromir started in 3616, and for the next 10 years they fought in that dungeon, and everything was destroyed. He collapses as he wonders what the point of it all was. Somehow, without pinching himself, Desser knows that it's not a dream, as he can clearly remember everything. Just then, a way too angry girl tells him that she was looking for him. She introduces herself as Ladoria and tells Desser that she will be his mentor. Desser searches his memory to find that Ladoria is a genius of a mage who wields fire magic, and she placed first in the academy rankings. She is shocked to learn that Desser is a commoner, and points out that even if he passes the test, he will be placed in the beta class. This school is apparently really big on discrimination. It puts nobles into the alpha class and commoners into the beta class. Even if you have talent, you can't receive a proper education if you're a commoner. They head inside and Ladoria wonders why Desser isn't more amazed by the school. Desser tries to say he has seen a similar building before, but she points out that there is no facility like it. Just then, the two are met by Elheim the water mage, and Desser remembers that La Diarrhea doesn't get along with him. The two mages throw insults at each other for a while. Elheim mocking how short she is and Ladoria pointing out how annoying he is. Ladoria reminds him that she beat him in a fight before, but he says that he just let her win. Elheim is impressed by Desser's manners for sitting quietly, but has a good laugh at Desser's expense when he finds out that he is a commoner. He says that he won't be competition for him and tells them to look forward to the test. Before he leaves, he gives Desser a word of advice. He states that even if Desser gets lucky and passes the test, he will end up in the beta class, so he might be better off not taking it. Just then, students are called to begin the test, and we see that Ladoria is all fired up and demands that Desser pass. As they head to the test, Desser becomes more and more sure that he is in the past. This being the case, he looks around and is relieved to see that someone isn't there. However, just then, a girl calls out to him and asks him to stop looking around so much since he looks dumb. Desser is in utter disbelief to see that it's Romantica, the girl he had memories of. Desser has no clue why this happened, but determines that the reason doesn't matter. He won't let a certain tragedy repeat itself, and he vows to rewrite the history of the world. Thanks for watching part 1 of this recap. Subscribe and ring the notification bell for future parts.